178 days. It's been 178 days since we last won away from home.
I'm still in shock.
Can you believe it? Can you actually believe it? I had to look it up. Our last away win was Millwall. Millwall away from home. And today, I've just watched Luton come from behind. Luton came from behind and won 2-1 away at Cardiff. Wow. Unbelievable. And look, I want to try and temper expectations here, because just because we've won and the table looks slightly better, as in there are more teams that we can catch right now, I want to be cautiously optimistic, because there are still issues. And anyone that watched the game can see these issues, and they are readily apparent. So firstly, I want to say I'm delighted for the travelling fans. Absolutely amazing for them, because fans have thrown thousands of pounds down the drain, just lit that cash on fire following Luton away from home this season, and they finally get what they deserve. A performance, well, the second half was a performance, and that they've seen a win. So fair play. I'm delighted for the travelling fans, and fair play to every single one that made the journey to Wales, because that is a trek. Midweek, that is a trek. That is pretty much a day off work. It's a long way. Anyway, so fair play, travelling fans. I'm glad you got the win that your loyalty in following Luton Town deserves. Fair play. Well done, guys. The issues. So, look, the first half, I won't lie, the first half was terrible. One of the best comments I saw online was, that is amazing that 22 players have managed to put on such a terrible performance. And that was what it was. If you looked up attritional in the dictionary, it would have literally been, well, it probably would have been a still from that first half. It was awful. Okay, so the issues that I was talking about, the very readily apparent issues, that it's no secret that we looked more like a football team once Elijah and Carlton were off the pitch. And I think that they are done. Essentially, they cannot play if we have any bid or want to survive. I'm going to focus on Carlton Morris now, okay? So throughout his entire career, he has been a middling striker. And let's not beat around the bush. We gave him the 2 best seasons of his career. He's only notched double figures once before joining us. He has been middling, and that was literally 10 goals for, I don't know, some team in League 2. I can't think off the top of my head. I'm not going to bother looking it up. But essentially that season, when we got promoted from the Championship, that was his best goal-scoring season ever. And then, the Premier League didn't really know what had hit him with Carlton Morris, big bruising striker. But now he is a liability. Whoever's playing up top with Carlton Morris, Elijah Adebayo, essentially that first half we might not have played. We should have played with 9 men, because Elijah and Carlton were both absolutely useless. And there's no getting around the fact that Carlton Morris was responsible for Cardiff's goal, because before then Cardiff had not threatened at all. They had a very good shot with Callum Chambers, who actually scored the goal, but after that, literally just before we scored our goal, Callum Chambers hit the bar. And that was pretty much their only other shot on target. So Carlton Morris, he's trying to shield the ball out of play, and the ball's travelling at the speed of about a snail, maybe slightly slower than a snail. I don't know why he's trying to, guard it to get it over the line, because the ball wasn't travelling. And he lets himself get muscled off of the ball. And that is a common theme. You have a player as big as Carlton Morris. He spends more time on the floor. And when he's not on the floor, he's literally complaining to the referee. Where's my foul? Where's my foul? How about you stop complaining, Carlton? And oh yeah, when he's not on the floor and when he's not complaining to the referee, he's having a go at fans saying we need to stick together. Well, Carlton, I've said it before, try being a professional footballer. Try actually performing. He's been terrible. He has been absolutely terrible. Unfortunately, I don't think him and Elijah can both get dropped. Elijah's probably the more likely to get dropped. He's had 2 games now where Bloomfield started him and said, go on, let's see what you can do. And Elijah has shown the sum of absolutely nothing. So I don't think Elijah will feature, well, as a starter for the rest of the season. Carlton Morris is a harder nut to crack in the terms that he is the captain in Tom Lockyer's absence, so I don't think Carlton will get dropped, but he really should, because you know what changed the game? Josh Bowler, his direct running, his ability to take a shot. The winning goal that Thelo Asgard turned in came from a Josh Bowler shot that got blocked and second balls. I've always said it. Long-term listeners of the show will know. I've always said second balls. You have to win your second balls. If you win your second balls, you have a chance. And that's what Thelo Asgard did, popping up, winning that ball that was blocked, and boom, goal. And it was a good goal. But you know what was a good goal? And it's instantly our goal of the season. Jordan Clark. He's come in for a fair bit of stick. And, I understand that, right? He started the season a bit slow, but he always gives it his best. It's not his fault that Rob Edwards and now Matt Bloomfield have not played an actual defensive midfielder next to him. So now, this game today, it was Liam Walsh and Jordan Clark having to play together, and they're 2 kind of attack-minded midfielders, and they're also both very lightweight. But they're both technically very good footballers. The goal, I've watched it back so many times. It was tremendous. The ball fell to Jordan Clark, and the touch, the swivel, the finish. The finish was ridiculous. And yes, I know Ethan Horvath was in goal. He didn't even move. Even Horvath, he only makes 2.3 saves per game. So essentially, if you have 3 shots, you're going to get a goal. And that is one thing that we don't really do in games. And even today, in the first half, we had 1 shot, that tremendous Liam Walsh shot. He caught it really sweetly, and Ethan Horvath made his contractually obliged save. But then we had a second shot in the second half, and once again, Ethan Horvath made his contractually obliged save. The third one, though, Jordan Clark, there is no saving that shot. It was a tremendous shot. It was a bullet. Absolutely beaut, and it nearly took the net off. It was absolutely sensational. It really was. In terms of the players that I feel need to start going forward, Millie Ali, when he came on, he was exceptional, willing runner, willing carrier of the ball, all the things that we just don't have. Willing to put in a cross, willing to take a shot. Essentially, if you don't buy a ticket, you're not going to win the raffle, are you? And that is what Millie Ali is as a footballer. He takes shots, sends in crosses, and he carries the ball. And essentially, once we got the donkeys off the pitch, the Elijah Adebayos, the Carlton Morrises, I don't think Liam Walsh should have come off, but at the same time, Zach Nelson, he did all right in his stead, I think. Once you got the cart horses off and the bowlers and the Millie Alleys on, then we started making things happen. We were pressing, we were running, we were moving the ball beautifully. Even Thelo Asgard got more into the game and actually was running with the ball. We actually looked like a football team. Can you believe it? The table looks a whole lot rosier now, but look, let's take it with a pinch of salt. Don't get ahead of ourselves, because after Pompey, we all were like, oh my God, we're staying up. Don't get ahead of yourselves. Everyone, please calm, because there's still a lot of football to be played. We got Middlesbrough up next. They're not on the best of form, but at the same time, we're at home. We can grind something out here. And Middlesbrough's season is it's not pieced out. They still have a shot at getting into the playoffs. And as shown by Derby beating Coventry, anything can happen in this league. You need to want it. You need to fight for it. If you're not fighting, you have no chance of winning. So we need to go into this game. We need to fight. And essentially, if we fight, then we can claw our way out of this relegation zone. And I'm delighted for Matt Bloomfield because he's a nice guy, but I feel, well, he was celebrating at the end. He was delighted. I love seeing those scenes. I love seeing post-match scenes. But the reality is he has to have seen what we've all seen, that Elijah and Carlton cannot start. We need to bring in the players. Look, it's the players that we brought in the January window that made the difference in this game. And I understand Amari Bell, he didn't have his best game. Alfie Doughty didn't have his best game. But who else can we play in their positions? Like Millie Ali, I'd prefer him further up the pitch. Although left wing back, I guess he can run with the ball from there. But I didn't like Alfie Doughty's hubris where he essentially said, yeah, there's no chance we're going down. There's always a chance we're going down. So you can't be that arrogant. You really can't, because we're in a relegation dogfight. We need everyone who wants to play at their limit, maybe even beyond their limit. Amari Bell, I understand that there isn't any other option really. Maybe if we played Cal Naismith as left centre-back, but then you lose Cal Naismith in the middle. But I guess if Cal's on the left, I guess it's good that Amari Bell wouldn't be there. But Amari Bell just has that one trick. And that one trick where, you know what, he does that sort of turn and he's lost a yard of pace. So everyone can see it coming now. And essentially, Amari Bell's no longer Mr. Dependable. Whenever he has the ball at his feet, I'm worried. I'm worried he's going to lose it. I'm worried he's just going to, like in the first half, he was slossing through balls for Cardiff. I just want to see some of the old guard who just they've been described as the big hitters. They're heavy hitters for us. They have not been heavy hitters this season. If anything, they have been absolute piles of dog crap. And they need to be removed from the team, and we need to bring in some of the players that we brought in the January window, because these players are hungry, as shown by Isaiah Jones, who has been one of our best players. Essentially, we brought in these players, let's play them, and let's not be overly loyal to the players who have gotten us into this relegation battle by not putting their bodies on the line and doing stupid things like trying to hold balls out of play and let them roll out at the pace of a snail. Don't get me wrong, absolutely chuffed with the points. Love it, very happy. I genuinely think that's 2 wins in 3 now. I am shocked. I'm so shocked, I barely know what to say. There was fights, especially in the second half. There was a lot of fights, but it was only once the big hitters had gone off. And more of that. More of the young players looking to prove themselves. That's what made Luton great in the first place. That's what took us up the leagues. We need more of that. We need the also-rans to just go. They can be on the bench. They can support from the bench. But right now, we need to get the players that want to take the game by the scruff of the neck, run with the ball, like your Millie Allies, your Thello Asgards, even your Josh Bowlers. He's got a lot to prove, because essentially he signed for Forest, it killed his career. And he looked great when he came on. So more of that, please. More of that. Jordan Clark can stay. I like Jordan Clark. He always gives it his all. But, I think he needs an actual defensive midfielder next to him. Anyway, as I said, on to Middlesbrough. Chuff with the 3 points. Come on. Love it. Love it. As always, come on, you Hatters.